My favorite lady is this lady, Janine Driver. My favorite is Janine Driver, who is a body language expert. And so this week over the Amber Heard, it was cross examination, which we went over heavily on Wednesday. And then there is her sister took the stand, and and then there was some other people who took the stand via video, and they gave their side of the story. So we're gonna look into this her sister's testimony, and we're gonna watch this lady who I absolutely love, Janine Driver, who used to be she used to work with the FBI and stuff, just as a body language expert. So let's jump on over into this because she's so good, and her TikTok is so good too because she cusses and she's just like, I don't give a fuck. So let's start with this video right here, and we'll probably fast forward it because these guys just ramble.
We're going to begin with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial because let me tell you, there were some really interesting developments in that trial yesterday. Amber's sister took the stand and testified that she did witness Johnny hit Amber. Take a look.
Johnny runs up the stairs, and I'm facing Amber. He comes up behind me, strikes me in the back. I hear Amber shout, "Don't hit my sister." She smacks him, lands one, and Johnny had already grabbed Amber by the hair with one hand and was whacking her repeatedly in the face with the other.
So if you saw there, you see that Johnny appears to look Amber's sister directly in the eye. And
This is a big deal, apparently, to this person.
this is significant because Johnny refuses to make eye contact with Amber, which has happened throughout the trial. He will not look at her. Now, a lot of people are also talking about the lawyers in this case, including Amber's lawyer, who got a reaction out of Johnny after she imitated his voice. Take a listen.
She played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
He laughed at it. He laughed at that bitch like,
Well,
whatever.
meantime, rumors are flying that Johnny is dating his lawyer. The two were seen hugging in court, which of course fueled the speculation even more. So, in order to make sense,
Are they banging? Are they? Let's find out from Janine Driver.
of all of this, there she is. We've got Janine Driver. Janine, also, I just want to, again, you are our favorite body language expert, but you also spent 18 years as an investigator with federal law enforcement, also the CEO of the Body Language Institute. Welcome, Janine. Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Janine, always great to have you on the show. You were actually in the courtroom yesterday and saw all of this in person, and you say there are two problems with Amber's sister's testimony. What are they?
Well, number one, the biggest one is we have these illustrators. They tell a story, right? So if I'm going fishing, I illustrate it. But here's the deal. When we see Amber's sister on the stand, Whitney, first she talks about Amber punching him with the right hand, but seconds later, in this testimony, she talks about Amber hitting him and demonstrates with the left hand. So this indicates to me, was Amber hitting him with both hands? And maybe Johnny was holding her by the hair. So that was happening, but it was to hold back Amber, this right hook and left hook.
Interesting. And what's the other one?
So there you go. Like there's one thing I want to point out is that in these moments of fury, you know, like there's this hashtag that Johnny Depp is innocent, and I've maintained this since this case started. But they're both at fault here. They're both crazy people, and Johnny Depp, who's notably a musician, by the way. That's why we're covering it. Famous musician, Johnny Depp. Johnny has been notably a very jealous person with all of his ladies, and that's coming out into in this trial as well. But it's been pretty well known that he's jealous of his ladies, and you know, that just seems so insecure. You know, like jealousy is just a huge insecurity in my book. I just see as like somebody who's just not secure enough with themselves to be you know, especially to be with somebody who they feel that they can be secure enough with too. Like, who you dating, what's your choices, what do you have inside of you that makes you so extremely jealous about people? And he's not afraid to make a scene about it as well. Also, when she's talking about, he probably did grab her up and grip her up and grab her by the hair and yank her head around and stuff. I'm not putting it past him. So all this bullshit about Johnny Depp is innocent, I think is to an extent, I think is bullshit. They're not innocent. They both were fucking crazy fucking animals just going wild at each other. So, but I do think that Amber Heard did have a vindication. I do believe that she had some ulterior motives after writing that op-ed. And I think that it fit the movement, the Me Too movement. It fit the moment at the time. And she was trying to further her career, and she was using it and trying to get money. And she was probably scorned, and she wasn't happy. And it's come out that she's a very possessive woman and very needy as well. I mean, just listening to those tapes is just triggering. So we got to keep in mind that they're both fucking psychopaths here, okay? And Amber probably was just trying to milk the situation for a bunch of money. I think she was trying to get like $100 million or something. I don't know where I heard that, so you might have to fact check that. But she ended up walking away with $7 million, which she pledged, was supposed to donate to two charities. There was a LA hospital for the abused women or something, and then to the ACLU. And when we saw that on Wednesday, the Johnny's team, Camille, she went after her on that, and she didn't know the difference between pledge and donate. Get the fuck out of here. So there's definitely some fuckery going on with her, and I'm sure she was, the Children's Hospital. Yeah, thank you, Bon Bon. So there's definitely some fuckery going on with her. I'm gonna say, but again, he married this lady. She was like in her mid-20s, and he was already like in his 50s. Like you weren't, like I don't know. Like I get it, dudes want that young and stuff, but do you have to marry that? I don't know if you should marry that. I'm not against anybody doing their thing, of course, and in cougars who go trolling or go cruising for young dudes. I love that shit. Go get it. But man, you put your time and energy and money into this person, and you knew she was a trouble, and there had to be part of you that liked it. So fuck you, Johnny Depp. You're still a part of this. Although, I mean, I am Team Johnny all the way. Obviously, I'm Team Johnny because fucking Pirates is a badass movie. I love his work as Hunter S. Thompson. And I don't like that she was using the momentum of a movement, especially the necessity of a movement like the Me Too movement. I don't like that she was using that momentum of that movement to, vindicate her own personal feelings against somebody and to milk the situation for all the money it was worth. And she was literally trying to ruin someone's career, which she obviously did. So, fuck her, but fuck Johnny Depp. But don't fuck him as much as fuck her, I guess. Ugh. It's a sticky situation.
The other one is that, there's a couple actually here, but this one is Amber's sister. Whitney says that she came running from the living room up to the stairs, but when Amber testified, she said her sister came from the bedroom running downstairs. So her own witnesses, her own sister is not cooperating with her own story.
Ugh, that's not good. Maybe you guys should get your fucking story straight before you start lying. But again, there's probably some truth to the situation. But what are they embellishing? We don't know.
All right, it's Al's question. I don't want her to breaking me down.
I know. Well, Janine, every time I talk to you, I'm always like, is this good? Am I lying? I swear to God.
Shut up. Come on. Get to it.
Everybody's saying, all these witnesses are coming up one after the other, and they're all saying that there was some abuse. So what the case really comes down to is just one juror agreeing. So do you think that they can find one person that said that Johnny hit Amber?
Listen, they had a lot of witnesses yesterday, but they were, other than Whitney, everything was pre-recorded. So we have all these recorded witnesses. And I've got to tell you, I was in the courtroom. I was 3 rows back behind the lawyer. By the way, Amber's lawyer swore. I won't tell you the swear, but just before it all began, she goes, oh, and you insert the swear word. When the lawyer walked by me, right, when she walked by, she stuck out her tongue, Elaine. And that's a tongue protrusion, high stress. High stress was going on with Amber's lawyers yesterday. But here's the deal. When we're looking at people, we're looking at the entire picture, and the jury is falling asleep. I was falling asleep. I'd go to the restroom and wake myself up. Until Amber's sister hit the stand, that's when everyone perked up and literally turned in that direction. Before that, they were yawning.
Right. I was watching some of the other testimonies. It was boring. I didn't bother, but I could see what she wants. And I've been following her TikTok too, which we'll go in after this because I love her TikTok. But yeah. Let's let her finish her point.
Drinking water, rubbing their eyes. I don't know if they're going to buy what happened yesterday. Now, I do think the witnesses, even though they were recorded, I do believe there was some authentic sadness here. And I do believe the witnesses were telling some truth. I don't think Rocky was 100% truthful. I think maybe Rocky, the best friend's tears were for many reasons, right? They're no longer friends. She's now divorced. It's a different life. Are you crying because Amber punched you in the face and Thanksgiving? You know, what happened here? We don't know what the authentic tears are. And we don't see hand gestures. You know, imagine if I'm a guest like this. Then you see no hand gestures. These guests fall flat. But I'm a dynamic guest. This is why you keep having me back, because I create a relationship with the camera. But you're seeing my hand gestures. It makes me engaging. And then you come into my story. I'm using illustrators. I'm telling a story. We want to see the hands. If I were giving a tip to the court, I would make sure our lawyers, make sure when you do these videotape depositions, you don't just see this. Make sure we're able to see these illustrations.
That's what you know, unconsciously, you know, like I've always wanted my hands to be seen, because like at one point, if I'm just like just a face like this, I don't like that. I don't like that there's no dynamic with my hands, because I do move my hands a lot, and there's a lot of part of what I do is just like, yeah, I think, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeding into the situation because she's talking about it now, but I do feel that when I was watching that, you just sort of had this head shot. Just like, yeah, I don't know. Johnny's evil. So I totally agree with her. It's like, let's get some more body dynamic here. We got to be able to judge these people by the full scope of their movements and body movements. I've been loving watching her TikTok just because I've been learning so much about just how, you know, different body language. I've also read a lot of books about like lying and liars and stuff, and how to tell if people are lying and stuff. And I really find that stuff fascinating. It's really interesting stuff.
Illustrators.
I just have to say really quickly, can you imagine being on trial and looking and seeing that the body language expert for the FBI, Janine Driver's in your courtroom? I would be like, oh no.
I'm scared just on DBL.
No, because no, I was going to say, heaven forbid I'm actually on the stand. I better be telling the truth.
Yeah.
Listen, when Whitney walked by me, I swear she must have seen me on your show, because Whitney walked by me. She's walking off the stand. As she walks by, I'm on the edge. She looked at me in like sadness. And I'm like, yeah.
Well,
because I'm biased to the truth. Sometimes people will say I'm biased towards Johnny. I'm not biased towards Johnny. I'm biased to the truth. And the truth in this case happens to be constantly stacking up for Johnny and not her sister Amber.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she saw it, because apparently 2.2 million people did on Instagram. So let me just tell you that. But okay, so while we got you here, I need to know, because there's a story inside of a story, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to get your take on Johnny Depp and
Using that hand gestures.
I know. In your opinion.
We also have to remember that Amber and Johnny are professional actors, so they are likely to be aware of body movements. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, and that's the thing you could see with Amber. Like, I think Johnny's just a little bit more casual with it, and I think it's become more of his demeanor on who he is as a human being, whereas you can almost see all the viewers from this channel plus 1 extra million. Yeah, that's right, Dutchman. You interrupted me. Now I can't remember. I think that Johnny is a little bit better at it as an actor, and I think that it's probably become part of his personality, especially his public personality. You know, because being a part of around actors and shit, that you can tell when people are turning it on, and that's fine. You know, like that's just who they are. That's just, you know, they're filling the void. You know, whatever that hole was that where they needed attention. Me too. I'm the same way, but actors especially have that thing. I think the big difference is that Amber is terrible at her job. Like when you watch, like I've watched clips of her on Aquaman, and like it is just not good. She's just not good. So like I think she's just worse at it. And Johnny, because just the way I mean, she was fake crying with no tears and shit. Like she wasn't even, you know, like she was making all the faces were there, but there was this disingenuous nature about what she was doing, which was not believable. And even if people were sitting there looking at that, and you know, people, even if they're not processing it as like this person is faking, there is something that comes off disingenuous about it. And people process that subconsciously or consciously, and she's just really terrible at it. But I don't actually know. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. Yo, try to watch Aquaman is such a fucking shitty movie. I'm sorry. I can't deal with movies anymore. Like, I feel bad. I don't, like, my family wants to watch movies. Like last night, we watched Con Air. Ugh. And Nicolas Cage. Blech. It's like, look, I know he's beloved. Apparently his new movie is the Unmeasurable Weight of Being Talented, or whatever it is pretty funny, which I would be interested in seeing that, because I always like it when actors make fun of themselves and shit. That to me is awesome. You know, like if you could, that's why Trump was such a fucking turd, right? Because he couldn't take a joke. And it's like, bitch, if you can't make fun of yourself, then how are we supposed to take you seriously? So fuck off. Like, you can go to hell. Separate conversation. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate that Nicolas Cage could make a whole movie about making fun of himself. So I dig that. But Con Air is such a fucking pile of shit of a movie. And like John Malkovich is in it, and Danny Trejo, which Danny Trejo is the shit. You know, and I'm making fun of it the whole time, and Raina and Saucy are just like, yeah, you know, they love Nicky Cage. Like now that's his shit. Knowing is a movie that I was working last night, because I'm working on a new song, which I can't wait to release. I've been working on this file since late 2019. I found it in my phone last night because I was reviewing notes, and since late 2019, I've been working on this song. So I'm very happy to be getting down. I got the vocals down last night, and it's very stupid and silly, and I think it's nice at the heart of it. It's nice and accommodating. So it's really silly and stupid, but I think it's gonna make people fucking upset a little bit. But it shouldn't. I don't know. I think you guys will probably think it's funny, but you know, I don't know how much people are gonna think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. So I finally got the vocals down, so I'm very happy I'll be having that out. Oh yeah, and then Wednesday, everybody, if you can make it, is the 2-year streamiversary. So we'll be spinning vinyl here live on Twitch starting around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. Anyways. Let's get back into this, because I forgot what I even was talking about in the first place. Oh yeah, how terrible movies are. I can't take movies anymore. I can't. I do want to see Knowing because it's apocalyptic. I like apocalyptic movies, but I can't take it anymore, folks. I just can't. I can't take movies. I can't. It's just bad acting or just shitty plot lines and like. I love superhero movies, but I end up sitting there just shitting on it the whole time. So I don't know. It's hard for me to watch movies when I know I have other things I could be doing that's way better with my time. I only forced myself to do Con Air because I was sitting there with my family, and I just sat there and shit on it the whole time. So, you know, it was fun. It was fun to shit on it the whole time. Con Air was such a huge movie too. I was like, how did this ever become such a huge movie? This is just such a wild piece of shit of a movie. It's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Anyways, I think it's a Michael Bay movie. Someone died on the production of it too. So, yeah. Fuck you, Con Air.
Based on their body language, do they have an intimate relationship
Let's
other
go.
than lawyer-client?
No, and here's why. Because A, she has a boyfriend who's she's madly in love. Evidently, he's from the UK. And Johnny was asked this by someone in court, and he said, no, that's my lawyer. They have great rapport. I used to teach at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. It's called FLETC. And week 1, you'd see a man and a woman flirting. In week 2, when they stopped flirting, I would be like, oh, I think they hooked up over the weekend. Once they're a couple, that flirting would be stopped. You think they're dumb enough to let us in on it?
Right.
No, this is, I think, to get Amber's goat. Because, and I knew it. I go, Camille is going to be the one that cross-examines Amber. And when it happened, I'm like, I should have bet $1 million on it. I knew it. It's just to get Amber's goat. Right. In my opinion.
Janine, I got to get this in.
That's a good call. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, doubt they're dating. They just seem to be comfortable with each other. Yeah, exactly, Zippy. Yeah, I didn't think so either. They do have these movements, but like if you notice, which I have, I've been watching this shit like a fucking crack fiend. It's just like, oh, I gotta get it more. It's so annoying. It's so annoying that I'm really into this when like the world is burning around us. I'm just like, oh yeah, just give me this distraction. But if they are banging, then they're not gonna want it to be out in the open. But I bet when you see her, when you see Amber on the stand, they sit next to each other. They're touching each other's hands. They're like, you know, being real close and chummy. And I'm guessing that's because they're trying to fuck with her. They're trying to fuck with her because they know that she's a fucking psychopath, super possessive, and she still is in love with Johnny. Whatever fucking twisted idea of love is in her mind. They played that the last time they talked. They played that tape where, you know, I'll never give you my eye contact again. Bleh. Whatever Johnny was saying. It's so fucking dramatic, but whatever. You know, it's just. Anyways, I mean, you ruined his career, lady. I can understand why he'd never get. But that idea to her was crushing. And this was after she released the op-ed and after she was saying all these terrible things. They met up in San Francisco in some hotel, I think. And she was trying to get him, you know, to look at her and to hug her. And like, because she still was in love. And so they're using that shit against her because they want her to fucking crumble, which is not a bad tactic, honestly. For sure, that lawyer is hardcore. She knows what she's doing, especially since they know they're on camera in the courtroom. Yeah, for sure. It's all very much a plan of attack. Like there's no mistakes here. And what's fucked up is like her team seems so disheveled, and like when all that objection shit, when she was objecting to everything, and she's just like, I'm trying. I'm trying. Like her lawyer was just like, bro, you guys are bad at your job. I'm not even a lawyer, but I could tell that you're failing at what you're doing if you can't even rephrase a question to your own fucking client. You couldn't even get your own. Come on now. It's terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, they definitely have the upper hand here, and yeah, they know what they're doing. I agree with y'all.
Now I want to ask you about Amber's acting coach, because she testified yesterday that Amber can't fake cry and that her tears on the stand are real. Let's look at this clip, and then I want to get your opinion.
I would say the last year they were together, probably 80-90% of our sessions began with her crying. Ironically, she has a little difficulty crying, acting-wise.
So, Janine, not much time. What'd you think about her testimony?
Fake crying. There's no tears. She breathes in with the tissue instead of out with the tissue. This is bad fake crying. I swear, the acting coach validated everything I've been saying since Amber took the stand. It's like a seal of approval saying, Janine Driver, you're right. This was bad crying. I'm sure Amber inside's like, I did do a bad job, didn't I? But I worked so hard on it.
Janine cracks me up.
I love it. I mean, everything she says resonates.
I know. I mean, she keeps it real, and she's got the experience to back it up.
I
Janine,
know.
Thank you so much for your expert.
That's why I fucking hate these stupid panel shows like this. But just Janine on these shows just is awesome. I wonder if they're struggling to come up with a proper defense because their evidence is against. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Yeah, I agree. I'm guessing that's probably the case. I mean, it just looks so bad. I mean, she's just been so bad. Like that whole idea of the bruise kit. Like, come the fuck on. She called it a bruise kit. I carry around a bruise kit. I mean, makeup to counter my bruises. It's like, what are you talking about, lady? What the fuck are you talking about? You just said it. It was that Freudian slip. It was just like a side note. Did anybody see that fucking war criminal? The clip of that war criminal, fucking George W. Bush, fucking slipping up. Let's just real quick. We'll slide into that. But since we're talking about Freudian slips, she called it a bruise kit and then quickly changed her story. And because they do have bruise kit makeups where it's all like greens, purples, blues, and dark colors to make a bruise. And you know, she's on the stand, she's under a lot of pressure, and sometimes our mind likes to fucking fuck with us. And so, I don't know if anybody saw this. Hold on. Just real quick, we will not stay on this because I do not want to talk about this son of a bitch. It always pisses me off. This fucking piece of garbage.
Now, I don't have a great segue here, but I absolutely
shut up, MSNBC.
Today at Southern Methodist University
Let's just
in
fucking
Texas.
get into it,
And while talking
dipshit.
about Russia and its president, he made what must be one of the biggest Freudian slips of all time.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. All right, anyway.
Look, he fucking admits it. Piece of fucking shit. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to go down that road. It's just, but these people, under this pressure, you know, they have.
We're gonna begin
Jesus.
with the Johnny.
Let's get done with this lady. I cannot stand her fake shit. She should have used that. Yeah, I agree. There's professional crying cream that comes with in like chapstick that you rub under your eyes to encourage tears. Basically like Vicks under your eyes. She should have used that. Yeah, right? Well, that's what people were thinking when she was sniffing stuff off of her napkin. You know, instead of blowing out, she was sniffing, and there's the huge speculation she was doing cocaine in there, in the courtroom. He's 75. That's his excuse. You know what? Fuck him. I don't care. He knows what he did. That piece of shit war criminal. Look, I'm not gonna go down that path, but still, they're over there fucking bruise kits, making these Freudian slips, like. There's just so much evidence that's stacked against Amber Heard. I couldn't imagine that they have a solid case of defense, Zippy. In what Zippy was saying, they're probably just falling apart. I mean, she's fired. I think she's fired some of her legal team. She's fired her, she definitely fired her PR team. Which is very funny. Yeah, T-Talk. They definitely fired her PR team because of all the backlash she's been getting online, which is like, what do you think, lady? So what's awesome is that Johnny Depp is going to be back on the stand on Monday, and they're bringing in another witness again. And so they're bringing Johnny back on the stand on Monday, and it's supposed to wrap by next Friday. So, it's heating up, folks. I'm actually kind of being glad when this fucking case is over, just so I can have my life back. Oh shit, that's not what I want.
Now, I don't have a
Fuck these people at MSNBC. You fucking mouthpiece for the corporate state. Okay, let's jump over to my TikTok here. And this
All right,
lady's
guys,
awesome
let's
too.
Get into it. More lies Amber told on stand. Part I can't keep up.
Just start with
now,
this.
This one was brought to my attention by one of you guys. I was asked to share this, and I am more than happy to. So we're taking it back to her story on December 15th, 2015. And if you remember, she said at one point he pushed her into the bed and he had his knee in her back, and then the other foot was pushing on the wooden frame. He was trying to gain purchase, and it snapped part of the wood off the frame. Lucky for Amber, there's an attorney/woodmaker on YouTube who shows you how a shoe couldn't possibly ever do that. Enjoy.
Really thick wooden frame, and it was broken from his boot trying to get a purchase on it. That's the bed that Johnny broke while on top of me.
Mattress over here, Johnny allegedly over here. So we have our work boot. Now, you can see as the work boot goes in, there's no way, given the size of that work boot, that you're going to get anywhere enough pull, period. Just slides right off. There's nothing it's ever going to catch. It's because the tip of the work boot, no matter how sharp it is not sharp enough to cut into that grain structure. It's just not going to happen.
All right, that's just some hearsay and shit. Let's get to the good shit. All right. I'm gonna try not. You know what? Let's just go to Janine's page because I don't want to get caught up.
Eric.
Janine Driver.
Amber Heard testified on the stand about this so-called attack that Johnny did on her on the airplane. Remember this? There's a word she says 6 times. That's interesting to me, and maybe you picked up on it. Do you know what word it is? The word is slowly. I slowly got up. I slowly walked 6 times. In that story, she talks about slowly. Is this some type of a script? You know, like when you're reading a book and she slowly approached and she slowly moved her seats. Slowly, 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 slowly. Why the slowly? Like, what is so significant that she's telling us 6 times how slowly she was going? This is a hot spot for me. It says this was in a script that she wrote, and it was not a good script. I'm about to tear it apart piece by piece. This is just the slowly part. Wait till you see what I'm putting out here next.
We're getting up so slowly, very slow movements, and I slowly get up with oscillating between those things, and I get up slowly again as I'm walking away. Slowly, trying not to be. I was being very deliberate about my movements.
Slowly, same thing.
Remember getting up so
What's up
slowly,
with the slowly, slowly,
very
slowly,
slow
slowly?
movements, and I slowly
Mic
get up
drop.
with oscillating between those.
So, Janine has been focusing on mostly on how Amber is fucking just lying constantly. I like it slow too. Slowly, 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 slowly eat me. Moving Dutchman. How dare you? All right. The first comment on this video. Did you notice that she used the word oscillating and her sister also used the same word? Ooh, yes. There you go. Look, of course her sister's going to go back her. What kind of sister wouldn't back their own sister? And that's the thing. They couldn't even corroborate their stories correctly, which Janine pointed out in that video with where she was on that stupid panel of people. But, she was saying that Amber, I can't remember, they just got the directions of where they entered wrong. So they couldn't even corroborate their own stories correctly. But they have these words, like oscillating, I feel like it's one of those words that might make you sound like you're sincere. I don't know, just because it's it's a bigger word or something, that's just my stupid opinion right off the top of my head. So that sounds silly, but like we were oscillating slowly between two pillars, like just trying to add these weird details to make their story sound more believable. He was oscillating back and forth between two of us while he grabbed her by her hair slowly, and I saw him punch her slowly in the face as her head bounced back, oscillating back and forth. Oscillating isn't something I'd normally find in a conversation. No, not at all. I might use it. Maybe not you, bro, but I might use it. I use oscillating all the time. The only time I've ever used oscillating is to refer to an oscillating fan. I've used oscillating before talking about an oscillator, which is like electronic equipment and stuff, or oscillating I'll use that in like electrical terms and stuff, because like working on parts and working on stuff, boards with components in the boards, green solder. Fuck. Okay, unless we're talking to a nerd, yes, or someone who has this scripted out very, very neatly, right? Let's watch more.
We're getting up so slowly, very slow movements, and I slowly get up. It's oscillating between those things, and I get up slowly again as I'm walking away. Slowly, trying not to be. I was being very deliberate about my movements. I remember getting up so slowly, very slow movements, and I slowly get up. It's oscillating between those things. We're getting up.
Look,
so
she addresses
slowly,
it. She's just
slow movements, and I slowly get up. It's oscillating between those things, and I get up slowly again as I'm walking away. Slowly, trying not to be. I was being very deliberate about my movements. I remember getting up so slowly, very slow movements.
Is this going anywhere, Janine?
Slowly get up, so slow. It's not to be. I was being very deliberate about my movements.
Yeah, she had since 2016. You'd think that the lady had her shit together by now, right? But no. Yeah, I don't know. Former scorn lovers are not credible witnesses. All right, so let's see what she says about that.
I weighed in on this, Ellen.
I cannot wait for your comment on Elle Barkin and the rest of the witnesses.
Barkin thing today on Headline News, and if you missed it, I'll put a highlight on here tomorrow. But what's the big deal? They made such a big deal like this. They had to go back 2.5 decades to bring in someone that Johnny Depp was having sex with, that he then ghosted, and she was in Vegas. Let me get this straight. So you're in Las Vegas, where Johnny Depp gets in a fight with a couple of his guy friends, and he's drunk out of his mind, high as a kite, and he threw a wine bottle across the room. Didn't hit you, didn't hit anybody else. No one got hurt. You don't know if there was wine in the bottle or wine not in the bottle. And this all went down in Vegas. And this matters. Why?
To DBL. Well,
no, we don't want to see
we've
that.
got to get your take.
They had a lot of witnesses, and we don't see hand gestures. Matt. See you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Favor. Sure.
Well, that's it. That's it for now. There's this other girl who is really cool. She sort of breaks down the shit pretty well. Let me go to my profile here. Did I like her? No, I must not have.
Don't be sad. I picked up on that too, and we're going to talk about it. Trial Day 19, Part 3. This video is about witness number 2, but I have to say...
That's not it. It's this young lady. Oh, this is fine. Let's just watch this. This is just fun.
Just a moment. You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Why did you do this? For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one.
Good one.
And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me. Ta-ta and farewell.
Oh god. So that guy is the reason I have this. I found this. Where is it?
Get your hand off. Get your hand off. My penis. My penis. Get your hand off. Get your hand off. Get your hand off. My penis. My penis. Penis, 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 penis.
Yeah, this is the original video. Well, this ain't the original, but I remember seeing this video a long time ago. It's very funny. It's a very funny video. This guy has a voice for TV or whatever. We might be done with our Johnny Depp stuff. Oh, it's this girl. It's this
Amber
girl.
Heard's acting coach testified against Johnny Depp today.
This girl is awesome because she just breaks it down. She doesn't really give opinions. And what's up, Morby? Welcome in. Welcome in. Glad to have you in. So this is this girl is awesome because she talks about thank God it's not on vinyl. Penis. I don't know why I have the humor of a child, but this is where I'm at in life, folks. I'm almost 40, and I still think that guy saying penis is very funny. Morby, welcome in, my friend. Nice to have you. You're welcome here at any time. Don't worry. You never have to worry about coming or going. It's all good. Love you so much. 12 years old till I die, baby. What's up now? Shit. Sorry, guys. God damn it. I gotta think before I act sometimes. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. That's why I also have this on here. What is it? There you go. I go through great lengths.
We are Greenacre Sessions.
I go through great lengths to make stupid shit like this. What is it?
We will not be playing Freebird.
That was just for a live gigs. You know, people would be Freebird. I'd be like,
we will not be playing Freebird.
Play Freebird.
We will not be playing Freebird.
Sorry if that. Anybody who has headphones on, I'm sorry. That's the kind of fucking dipshit I am, though. Yeah. Anyways, this girl is pretty cool. She talks a lot about. Yeah, it's silly. It's all silly. Let's go to her thing because she has like updates and stuff. So,
Amber Heard's former attorney testified in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Here's what you need to know. On day 19, we heard the testimony of Michelle Maroney, Amber Heard's former attorney. And her job is to cover prenuptial and postnuptial agreements. Michelle said she was representing Amber and Johnny in Amber's postnuptial agreement when she said that Johnny Depp fired her on Amber's behalf. Michelle said that her and Amber originally spoke about a prenuptial before Johnny and Amber got married in 2015, but it later turned into a postnuptial agreement. When Johnny called her, she said that he was mean. She felt that he was intoxicated and he called her a bitch, and then proceeded to fire her. She said she was very rattled by the call and that she hung up after a few minutes because she was really shook up. She said that Johnny did not have the authority to fire her, but that Amber did herself a few days later. Now this is important because the phone call allegedly took place before the argument in Australia where Johnny Depp had his finger severed. Johnny said that he had his attorney speak to Amber about signing a postnuptial agreement, and Amber became distraught, saying that he was trying to trick her out of any money if something were to happen to him. And he said that Amber was very upset and started an argument over it, which then escalated, and you guys know the story. In my next video, I'll discuss the testimony of Tina Newman, who is an executive at Disney. Amber Heard's A Disney executive testified in the Johnny Depp and Amber.
Have y'all seen the totally real Jason Momoa statement? Is there a real one? I think I can sense sarcasm, but let's look into that. I'm starting to get a little bored off of watching this anyway. So Momoa. Amber Heard's agent told lack of chemistry. No. Oh, yeah. Well, there was a big deal with this because the agent said that there was a lack of chemistry. But they were saying that they were claiming that Johnny Depp, with all this, when she was going through all the controversy back when she was writing the op-ed about Johnny, they were trying to make the case that harmed her career. But they're saying like Disney is releasing statements saying like, no, it had nothing to do with that. It had something to do with her chemistry, and it kind of perjurized. Is that perjured? It perjured her. I can't remember. I don't fucking know. Love the Disney woman. She just sucked at her job. That's all. Yeah, exactly. That's what it comes out with. They were trying to blame the reason that she sucks on Johnny Depp and the controversy that was going on, but really they were just reinstating, they were just stating that no, she just sucked at her job. That's all. Amber Heard's agent was told Momoa caused reduced Aquaman 2 role. Was it? No. Can I post? I think so. Hold on. No. Shit. You can go in my Discord. Am I in my? Oh shit. I can send it. Whisper it to me because I don't know if my Discord's gonna work either. Because I don't think I can sign in my Discord. I'm locked down my Discord because I'm an idiot. So because I didn't put it in. Yeah. Whisper it to me real quick and then. All right. All right, Morby sent us this.
All right, your next witness.
Oh shoot! I didn't know we were starting yet.
Oh yeah.
Wait, almost got it. Perfect spot.
Okay, could you please state your full name?
Yeah, I am Jason Momoa.
Mr. Momoa, do you know Amber Heard?
I do. Hi, Amber.
Don't talk to her. So how do you know Amber?
Amber.
Aquaman.
So you work together as actors, right?
No, as janitors.
Mr. Momoa, you have to take this serious. He's not a janitor. He's actually Aquaman. Did you say you felt safe around Amber on the set?
Sure, I guess.
So there was not even one incident?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Why? What happened?
Well, Amber and I were in the pool recording a scene. It was just the two of us. And she pointed at the water and said, "Look at that beautiful brown fish."
So what seems to be the issue? I'm not following.
Any wildlife in the water would be computerized, so that wasn't a brown fish.
I don't understand. Then what was it?
Well, it was, shall I say, Amber's turn.
Mr. Momoa, how do you even know what that was? Did you even take a picture of Amber's turd?
No, I didn't.
So do you have any evidence?
Well, I made a replica. Yeah, here it is. No. Does that look like a fish? Nope. And how did that even come out of her body? Ah! Oh, man.
You had to leave.
Subscribe to GeoFilm. He does funny dubs.
Yeah. So let thank you, Morby, for sharing that. We'll go through a couple more of this and then we'll move on. We got a couple more stories in us, and then I have to go to have dinner with my family, which I sound really fun. Yes, I want to become famous. Oh my God, Honey Fur, finally. God damn, I can be famous. Oh, I forgot Bonnie's here. Thank you, Bonnie. I forgot we have a mod in chat. Thank you, Bon. I was like, okay, how do I do this? I need to rest now, but I'll leave the stream running. Thank you, Zippy. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate that. I appreciate you hanging out, and your input is always welcome. And again, everyone, if you're not following Zippy Zipper, make sure you go and follow Zippy Zipper. Zippy is the shit. She's a great artist. Boom. Zippy. Okay. So let's finish up here, and then we'll move on.
Amber Heard trial, here's what you need to know. Yesterday, we heard the video deposition of Tina Newman. She is a production executive in the live-action department at Disney. She was asked if she had any knowledge as to whether Johnny Depp would appear in Pirates 6. She said that she didn't know, the decision was not in her job responsibilities, and that it was above her pay grade. Amber's lawyers asked her if she was aware of any decision makers, so producers, directors, etc., who said they were not considering Johnny Depp for Pirates 6 because of Amber Heard's op-ed. And she said no. She was also asked if Disney was aware that Johnny Depp had said he wouldn't return to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for $300.
Surprise laugh. She has surprise laughter. Well, now we gotta go look at it. Hold on now. No, I don't want to hear this. God, I hate that. Who was it? Was Disney woman. Johnny Depp laughs uncontrollably, mentioning the alpacas during questioning Disney employee.
Is Disney aware that Mr. Depp has testified under oath that he would not take another Pirates of the Caribbean franchise role for $300 million and 1 million alpacas?
No.
Would Disney entertain paying Mr. Depp more than $300 million and provide him with more than 1 million alpacas to be able to obtain his services for any future Pirates of the Caribbean role?
No.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as deposition exhibit number.
What's the alpacas have to do with it?
To Alan Horn. Who's that?
He was our co-chairman.
Of Disney?
Yes.
And Alan Bergman, who's he?
Same. He's the other co-chairman of Disney.
What does alpacas have to do with it? What was that really? It is fucking. I need $300 million and some fucking alpacas, bitch, before I'll sign anything, you dumb hoe. That shit is so fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Let's watch this guy.
Please bring up Exhibit 3. Back to Kipper for a moment.
Look at him, he's just hitting his vape.
If when Dr. Kipper prescribed drugs, would Mr. Depp also... And what about with Amber? Did you ever
just keeps on
encounter any
shit.
talk from JD of jealousy?
He said, I won't work for Disney anymore, even if you give me 300 million and 1 million alpacas. Oh. Morby, you know more about this case than I do. Goddamn. All right. So I'm pretty excited for next week, and then finally it'll be over. But Johnny's supposed to come back on. Apparently, they're thinking about cutting Amber Heard's part out of the next Aquaman movie, which, whatever. I don't think she deserves to get her part taken away from her. She's just, like, she has the right to fucking, say whatever she wants, but I don't think that she needs... Had some sleepless nights lately, got into a rabbit hole. Well, I hope the sleepless nights weren't over anything bad, Morbs. I hope it was just you couldn't sleep, but... Thank you for bringing these gems to our attention. This was very needed. We definitely needed to know these things. These fucking alpacas. 300 million and 1 million alpacas. Ridiculous. All right. Let's let's move on because we're gonna have to start wrapping up here.